Okay, we're going to start. Mauricio?
Commissioner Viscara,
Here.
Commissioner Joseph,
Here.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Here.
Commissioner Joseph.
Here.
Thank you, sorry. Vice Mayor Lama is not here. Mayor Svechin?
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Great. First item we have, is everyone here? I think so, right?
Yes.
There's three? Okay, great. So it is my pleasure to make this presentation to these girls and this coach and these parents. I have known Coach Andrea for many, many years, both as a friend and as a coach, and it's really remarkable what she has done with this group of girls, and it's a testament to her hard work, the girls' very hard work, but probably most important, the support of their parents. You know, the traveling and the kind of commitment and investment you have to make. I hope you girls really appreciate it, and we are really, really proud of you and what you have accomplished. I'm going to read this really quickly so it's in the record. Andrea Nissenbaum, aka Gymnastics, and her team of gymnasts. Akimi Watai, is that right? Thank you. Gabriela Gonzalez and Odea Kashi competed in the 2024 AAU Gymnastics National Championships in Delray Beach on June 20th, 2024. Teams and gymnasts from all over the country competed. Akimi came in second place in the all-around, Odea came in fifth, and Gabriela came in ninth. We are so proud of all three of them, and it showcases how far they have come and how dedicated Andrea is to her gymnasts and the city. So if you guys can please come up, we're going to give you some awards, and then we'll take a picture. Okay, Mauricio?
The next item on the agenda is 2B, a proclamation presented for Republic of China Taiwan National Day.
Okay, thank you. So I want to say that this is a relationship that we've had for many, many years, and it brings me great joy and pride that you all have come here to accept this proclamation. Commissioner Viscara and I had the pleasure of visiting, and it's a beautiful country, and our sister city there is amazing, and we just love how much you support us. I remember that, during COVID, you made a large donation to us of masks, and it's very appreciated. I'm going to read the proclamation so we have it in the record. Whereas the Republic of China Taiwan observes the 113th National Day on October 10th, 2024, and whereas the United States and Taiwan have maintained close friendships based on the 1979 Taiwan Relations Act, the cornerstone in enhancing bilateral ties between Taiwan and the United States, which commemorates its 45th anniversary in 2024. And whereas Taiwan is the United States' 8th largest trading partner, with two-way trade totaling $127.5 billion in 2023, as well as Florida's 9th largest merchandise trade market in the Indo-Pacific region as of 2023. Whereas the Florida Senate and the Florida House of Representatives each passed a resolution on February 28, 2024, expressing support for enhancing bilateral economic ties between the state of Florida and Taiwan, facilitating Taiwan's accession to the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership and the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, and recognizing the signing of the United States-Taiwan Initiative on 21st Century Trade. And whereas the United States of Representatives passed the United States-Taiwan Expedited Double Tax Relief Act and the United States-Taiwan Tax Agreement Authorization Act on January 31st, 2024, which is a significant step in advancing the U.S., Taiwan, and Florida-Taiwan economic partnership. And whereas Taiwan and the United States signed the Memorandum of Understanding on International Development Cooperation on February 22nd, 2024, which facilitates cooperation between the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation and its partner in Taiwan to collaborate in creative and diverse ways for development cooperation in developing countries. Whereas Taiwan's meaningful participation in numerous international organizations, including the International Civil Aviation Organization, the World Health Organization, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and the International Criminal Police Organization would benefit regional development, peace, and prosperity. And whereas since the establishment of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Miami in 1988, Taiwan has developed multiple sister state, sister city relations with Florida, and we are proud to have a 32-year-long sister state relationship between the state of Florida and Taiwan. We support Taiwan's mission of economic liberation, democratization, and significant international participation. Now, therefore, do I, Larissa Svechin, as mayor, on behalf of the city of Sunny Isles Beach, here proclaim October 10th, 2024, as Republic of China Taiwan National Day in the city of Sunny Isles Beach. I'm going to come down and take a picture. Okay. Mauricio?
Next item is 2C, a proclamation presented for Hispanic Heritage Month. Commissioner Joseph.
Thank you. The representative to accept the proclamation is not here, but we will present it to them at another time. I'll read this proclamation. Do we have it prepared?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, whereas Hispanic Heritage Month is a month-long celebration of Hispanic and Latino history and culture, providing an opportunity to celebrate the integral part of Hispanic Latino community has had in growing and strengthening our democracy, and whereas Hispanic Heritage Month provides an additional opportunity to explore the incredible impact the Latino community has had across the country, and especially in the city of Sunny Isles Beach, and whereas the Latino presence in America spans centuries, predating Spain's colonization of what is now this part of the United States, and they have been an integral part of shaping our nation since the Revolutionary War, and whereas Hispanic Heritage Month began as a week-long celebration in 1968 under President Johnson and was expanded to a month by President Reagan 20 years later in 1988, and whereas in 2024 we celebrate the theme Pioneers of Change, Shaping the Future Together, highlighting the Hispanic and Latino communities' cultural contributions and historical impact, and whereas Hispanic Heritage Month does not cover one single month, but instead begins in the middle of September and ends in the middle of October, and whereas the time frame of this month is significant because many Central American countries celebrate their Independence Days on these dates, beginning on September 15th with Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua, and whereas by aligning these independence dates, Hispanic Heritage Month honors the resilience and determination of the Hispanic community, and whereas the month-long celebration provides more time to properly recognize the significant contributions of Hispanic Latino Americans have made in the United States, and whereas we will continue to advocate for Hispanic Latinos as representation matters, Latinos and Latinas continue to shape our nation as business owners, activists, artists, public servants, and more. From serving in the military to being champions in the fight for civil rights, Latinas and Latinos remain strong leaders and change makers. Now, therefore, do I, Larissa Svechin, as mayor and on behalf of the city of Sunny Isles Beach, hereby proclaim September 15 through October 15, 2024, as Hispanic Heritage Month in the city of Sunny Isles Beach.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Commissioner. Okay, we'll present it at a different time. Thank you. Okay, next item, please.
Next item is 2D, a presentation by the International Draughts Federation by Commissioner Stuyvesant.
Okay, go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah. I invite them to do the presentation.
Okay, wonderful. Please come up.
Mayor,
Yes.
may I?
Yes, of
Before we
course.
start,
Yes, of course.
I just want to let you know that this matter came to me a couple of months ago,
Okay.
and I declined, so I'm just letting you know in advance.
Okay, wonderful. And you met with,
We corresponded by email,
I
but I
see.
have
Okay.
met with them in the past,
okay,
yes.
thank you.
And for consistency's sake, Mayor, just as I did with the last vendor, just to advise that this is completely outside our process for procurement. So there could be, should there be a need for this service in the future, they may be precluded from participating because it's completely, the commission is not supposed to be involved in.
And
The
they
purchase.
understand this? Have they?
I have had no communication
Okay,
with
so
them.
can you just clarify that for the record so that,
Right. Under our charter and our code, there are specific methodologies to solicit or try to sell a product to the city, and there's a process to do that through purchasing. And the city commission is not involved in that. Ultimately, they decide, but there's a bidding process, there's if it's not a bid, there's different processes that you have to go through in order to bring a product to the city for either a product or service to the city for purchase. This is outside that process. So therefore, if the city decided, hey, it's a great product, let's go out there and see if we would have to put it out there publicly. And every other person that would possibly want to do this would have a rightful objection because you've had an audience with the commission and they have not. So the commission is out of that process until the very, very end. So this is unusual, and that's why I just need to mention it for the record, that it's outside the confines of your purchasing code.
Okay. And so, just to be clear, this may possibly preclude them then.
But there is not a product here.
1 second, please.
It's anything that the city spends money on, product or services, anything of that sort has to go through your purchasing code.
Okay, thank you.
So-
Perfect. Please go ahead. So do you understand?
Actually, I understand that this process could be a little bit more complicated that I was understanding it because I didn't look at it as to the product. It was the
Is the
idea
microphone
of-
working?
Yes, it's working.
You need to put it closer because we can't hear you.
So the idea was to make a good, recognizable cultural and sport event to the city, not to propose the product to purchase. And this is actually what I was going to present for commissioners and city authorities in this presentation.
Again, I don't take
Sure.
a position one way or the other. I just wanted to make sure that it might be at risk depending on
Yeah,
what it
this
is.
is just
Because
for
I don't
you
know
to
what I don't know what you're necessarily proposing. I just wanted you to be aware.
Okay,
Okay.
please go ahead.
So, dear ladies and gentlemen, we are the National Drafts Federation of the United States of America, and we are non-profit, now it's better, non-profit organization that is created for developing of drafts and checkers in territory of the United States of America, and one of our goals is also to make developing of youth and adult sportsmanship in the country. So we come out with this proposition for the city because we actually, many of our members are residents of the city and they would like to do something good for Sunny Isle Beach in particular. So now in our city there is a very specific situation when very many good factors that could create outstanding event came together in one point, and we can organize very recognizable, one of the most famous tournaments in checkers and drafts in the world. Because as for now, we have both outstanding players and outstanding organizers and managers who put together.
What is that?
uniting-
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
is it
can
like
I
an
stop you for a
echo?
moment? What is that? Is that an echo or is it someone having a conversation?
It's like an
Try one more
echo.
time. I think there was just some feedback. But you
Yeah,
can
if you could
continue,
speak
continue.
again.
Okay, I will try to continue. So we have both management, organizers, and high-level players who together, uniting our efforts, could create not the good, but one of the best, most recognizable tournaments in checkers and drafts in the world. Because here are in your city live the world champion among veterans in drafts. In your city live other strong players. There is a possibility to organize this tournament because personally I am the referee of the World Draft Federation International Arbiter. I was supervising and was main referee in the World Championship in matches for the World Women draft title twice, and I have a good experience in this sphere. And what we together as an organization have the respect and possibility to involve the best players from all over the world to our city. This is what very rare for any city in the world, I believe. So what we would like to bring to the Sunny Isle Beach, the recognizability of the event, the popularity of the city, people from all the world, from different federations that are dozens and dozens of federations all over the world will be able to follow the information about what is happening here, what people and how strong tournament is organizing here, and they would be happy to also come here to participate or to spectate to this tournament. Also, The thing what is going to be increased in Sanyal is the intellectual games movement, because it also will increase the demand of draft and checkers study teaching process. Kids and adults would of course be interested in this kind of sport, and it will be a good possibility of developing of intellectual kind of sports in the city. So the popularization of this kind of sport among children and adults would be on the horizon. So, as I mentioned, we have world-class organizers and managers who could do it, and this is what we are already spending our time and efforts for. We make those efforts that are directed to the organizing of the tournament. We have done, and we're keeping doing a lot of work with hotels, with people who are supporting intellectual kind of sports. We are doing fundraising, and we are keeping preparing this event. Also, members of our organization are already making the coaching process not only in Florida, in different cities of Florida and in other cities of the United States. And of course, for residents of Sunny Beach, it could be good if there would be some classes, some lectures, some events organized for them, because we have many people who are interested in this event inside of city of Sunny Isle Beach and among the residents. They are asking when and how they could be joining the drafts particular also. So this what actually we could help city to organize in close future. So about the situation with our plans, what we would like to create and how it could start and go forth. Making this tournament the biggest one is of course not the matter of 1 year. It should be done step by step, consecutively, by making it annual. That will be happening every year in the same approximately time as it usually grew up and makes more and more participants of that. So the first year we are expecting to have 50 or 60 in this number of participants. Among those there will be maybe a couple dozens of players from our city. All the rest participants will be present in other states of the United States and players from other countries. For that, we have already gained the agreement with the Newport Beach Hotel. They are, as a donation, giving us possibility to host. They're hosting the rooms for 10 rooms for players, and of course we are going to continue work with possibility of making other hotels cooperation with us, for example, Ramada Hotel. And what very important, the Newport Beach Hotel gives us as a donation. They are playing whole Tiffany room for 2 days. For by the way, the exact dates we are going to organize this tournament is from 8th to 15th of September 2025. This is almost a year from now, and this will let us prepare ourselves and prepare the venue, prepare everything for making this tournament really good and strong. Depending of the way it's going to approach, we are also having the agreement with the World Draft Federation that is willing to grant us the status of the stage of World Cup. So what would we like to have help with from the city? Actually, this is not much what we need. We need the playing room. The playing room is important for only those days that are remaining. So since we have the 8th and 9th, we need the playing room from 10th to 15th of September. This is actually the time for playing our rounds for players. It can be from the morning, from let's say 9 to 2 o'clock. And if there will be the will of the city to support our participants with some awards from the city, it will be also good if the city would organize the awards, and also not on the trophies, but maybe the money awards for winners. It could be great. It could be personalized, and it would be making the good memory for players about their participation in the event in the Sunny Isle Beach. Actually, this is all we ask. All we ask to support our idea, and all the rest work we are already doing. There is a all organizational work that is with the World Golf Federation, with invitation of players, with making the regulations and making the possibility of running this tournament. This is all on us. So we would be very happy to have your support and hope for your cooperation. And of course, I hope it will be according to legislation, everything will be proper and good, and we have only the best expectations in this sphere.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I can start. Clearly, there is no cost for the city to do this. They are requesting to use Gateway, to use the space. This is a park that was built with taxpayer money, and now our residents are asking to use the space to be able to hold the competition in there. So there is no cost associated. They just need physically to be able to use the place. Like they presented to us, other cities have done it, like West Palm Beach, etc. So I don't think this even should be a matter of discussion. We have our residents willing to pay for everything. They had already sponsors in the city for the hotels, etc. So I don't know what is it. I hope there is consensus between us that our residents should have access to use the spaces that they're paying for, and that they're being built and maintained with the taxpayer monies. So
I just have a quick question. It was a little bit hard to hear,
Yes.
so I'm going to ask. There was a request for prizes and trophies as well.
as well, but we don't need to do that if we don't want to.
Right, no, I
You
just
know?
want to get clarification.
Yeah, for what I had right now that I put in my notes, they need Gateway from the 10 to the 15 to hold the competition, apparently from 9 to 2 p.m. And then if we so wish to do so, and the name of the program is Sunny Isles Beach Open, I will believe that I think we can afford maybe a few trophies and be part of the celebration once and give the trophies to the winners. So, but that's what I say. The use of Gateway, for me, is just a no-brainer. And if we can, because I do believe we can spare the money, also give some trophies, we can do so. If not, that is something that we can help facilitate some other ways.
Okay, so I just, I think we've met with, they've met with each of us, I believe.
They met with me. I don't know
Yeah,
about you
so,
guys.
my question is, because this is, and you're right, I agree with you, that Gateway is built obviously by taxpayer dollars, and it should be used by the residents. When did they do it in West Palm Beach? What was the event?
I know it's in the slides, so I don't know. I wasn't
It
there.
was with
so
the city of West Palm Beach.
for what I understood, yes, but we should ask them. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't
it's
know
fine.
that
Does,
directly. Yeah.
Commissioner Joseph, do you have any questions?
Well, in my regard, I'm for anything that builds brain power, and certainly chess and checkers are games that do that, and in competition, I believe that that actually expands knowledge, and we already have in the city chess and checkers tournaments, right? Not on this scale, but I certainly look forward to having this tournament, and I hope that the city can oblige in any way they can.
I just want to get clarification, unless you want to speak first. Okay. So you had mentioned in the beginning, Mr. Manager, that you were not recommending this. If I can just get your reasoning on that before I give my comments.
The direction that we got from the commission regarding special events were more for local residents and not something that was really based on tourism, would be my first point. The other part of it would be, we have a number of events scheduled during that time, so we would have to take whatever events we've scheduled and reschedule those. The request that I saw was for at least $5,000 from participation for the city. And in terms of using Gateway, there's no event that we ever have at Gateway that's free. So we have to have staff there to set up, break down. There's some significant cost with that. And then to have it for multiple days also affects other programming. We have a lot of senior programming at Gateway. So as you can imagine, residents just coming up to ask to use Gateway, we have a process for that. It's already established where they're welcome to contact our vendor and schedule it and pay for it. But it's definitely not free. The other thing is, as part of this, I'm not aware of the other cities participating in this, at least the two from the slide. I know there was an event in West Palm and Hollywood, but I didn't receive any kind of confirmation that the city actually participated in the event. So as part of this, you can imagine that every day I receive probably 5 to 10 different requests from vendors to use our facilities. So I am essentially, I guess, the gateway of Gateway. So I have to go through and compare any events that want to come in, because everybody wants to use it for free, and then assess whether it's in line with something that the commission wants, and then either move it forward to you or not according to your budget. This was not budgeted for, so it would require a budget amendment, which would require 2 readings. So from that, obviously I serve at whatever will and pleasure of the commission is, but those are the
And if I
parts
may
of
I?
it.
Okay, yeah, and
Well-
I appreciate your patience, Mr. Manager, because I know that I myself have sent people your way that have wanted to use the space, and I understand the frustration from the public because they feel like they should be able to use it when they want to, and I think that we definitely could use a more specific process, potentially for next year, for the next year's budget, next fiscal year, not this one, that we just approved, so that residents especially can use it, because we have people that live in various buildings that have their own, party rooms, or what building do they live in, Commissioner Stuyvesant?
Sure, but I believe
Which-
Sands Point and another of the, and La Perla, if I'm not mistaken.
Sands Point and La Perla.
Yes,
So, I
sir,
mean,
yeah.
that's a start as well, because I know those two also have rooms that are available for their residents.
I used to live in La Perla, it's very small.
No, I understand. My point is that if we have many, many people that want to do something. One of the very first things that I was approached for was to use the gym for a gymnastics competition, to do something on the field. So I get it, because I think that people should be able to use it, but I don't know what's the best way to do it, and I would rely on staff for that recommendation. And if the city manager is not recommending this, especially if this is a budget amendment, I don't know how I can support it, but I'd like to hear from Commissioner Vizcarra.
I don't have any feedback. City manager doesn't think
Okay.
this is a good thing.
Well, I do have a feedback, because there is something that is not accurate, that when we say that nobody uses Gateway for free. Our city staff, with all due respect, use it for free. Recently, we have a 4 hours employee picnic, 4 hours, and that was for free. It costs us money, does not directly benefit our residents. I love and support, and I appreciate and have all the respect for everybody that works in the city, everyone. So this has nothing to do with city staff. My point is that, like I said, we use that for ourselves, and I'm gonna put now as part of the city, for the staff, for free, whenever we want to do whatever it is that we decide to do. But when it comes to the resident has to go through that process. Multiple screening is extremely expensive. It was built with the people money, and it should be for the people to use. So I am in favor of giving them, and we're talking about September 2025. So we have a full year to be able to accommodate the programs or anything else that is necessary to make it happen. So yes, definitely I support this. I believe we should support anything that has to do with education and sports for our residents specifically. And it would be a shame that they need to move, being residents of Sunny Isles, that they have to go to another municipality to do the Sunny Isles Beach Open.
I have one
Thank you.
question.
Please go ahead.
I would just like clarification on how many Sunny Isles Beach residents are involved in this tournament?
I don't think they have
If you
even.
can come up, so it could be on the record. Would you mind coming up, please? So the question is, how many Sunny Isles Beach residents?
The participants of the tournament going to be at least 5 players.
5 players. And the building, just for clarification, are you in Sands Point or are you in La Perla?
I'm Alex Rudnitsky is in La Perla.
You live in La Perla?
Alex Rudnitsky, not me. I am not a Sunny Isle resident.
Okay, all right.
Right now I'm from
Okay.
Pompano Beach.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just one other question. So the participants, the players, are they from Sunny Isles Beach or they're
At
from
least
outside?
At least of 5
5.
of them will be from Sunny Isle Beach.
5 out of 20?
5 out of expected 50.
50. So 5 out of 50.
But they haven't published it, so you
Yes,
don't know
no, I
who's going to
know.
participate.
Right. So
It's-
it could
yeah.
be more, it could be less.
Oh, clearly, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't think that we have consensus to support this right now.
So you are not supporting it?
I'm not supporting anything that's a budget amendment, no.
No, okay, but you are not supporting this specific. We're not talking about anything else.
I think I made it clear. I'm not supportive of any budget amendment.
Okay,
So
so
we
you're not
can move
supporting
on.
it. Yes, you're not supporting the tournament. And I would like to hear from everybody if they do support or not.
We already heard from everybody.
No, I would like to say that I do support the tournament.
Okay, so you have 2 and 1 because Commissioner Vizcarra didn't say yes or no.
I believe she did.
No, I'm gonna follow the city manager's recommendation.
Okay. So we don't have Vice Mayor Lama here, so we have to bring it back? How does it work?
No, it's based on who's here.
Okay, so I'll bring it back next month. Is a discussion item? Is
Actually-
there a restriction?
With the new ordinance tonight, it's going to be 3 months.
Okay, so.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Mauricio?
We're now on to discussion items. The first discussion item is 3A, creation of a loan assistance program for condominium assessments.
Okay, this one should be very simple. The idea is we know how people is being affected with the new special assessments, etc. So I'm bringing this as a discussion item to consider opening a loan assistance program for the residents of Sunny Isles Beach, very similar to what the county has. They have already a program. The requirements of that program are very extensive. And many people cannot afford to do what they are asking for. So now that we are going to enter into a new fiscal year, I will propose for the to give that direction, to consider, not to bring it to us, nothing today, but to consider how much money we could put and if we can do something similar to the county, more in line with the needs of our residents.
Anyone have any comments or questions? Commissioner Joseph?
How would that, how would your idea even be established?
No, like I said, similar to what the county has. Are you familiar to what the?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay,
Except with city money?
correct.
City money.
And different requirements, more simple requirements. I know of people who have tried to apply to the county and actually their own HOA, they have to submit so many paperwork and they are not submitted to them. So the requirements are like very strict for the county one. So maybe we can do something similar for our city.
And how would you handle defaults?
That we will not have to handle default. It will be part of the program. Whoever is going to be handling the program, they will be handling the defaults. So I'm not going to go into the detail because it needs to be set up with the safeguards, etc. No.
Commissioner Scott?
I just don't know enough about the county program.
Okay.
I honestly, I wouldn't even know where to begin, because I don't know enough about the county program to even begin to imagine what a city program would look like.
Okay.
So it's, kind of in the dark here.
Okay.
I
Well, so
just-
would you like the city to
I just
propose
don't-
something and show it to us?
I
A
don't
draft?
know, because I don't know enough. I don't have enough of my own knowledge right now to even form an opinion, because I don't know how, like financially, what the approval has been. Like you said, some people have had trouble, but I don't know if they're the exception or if it's just flawed, and how, I mean, this sounds like a major budget amendment that we have not talked about. We just passed the budget. We just lowered the millage. I mean, just on the surface, based on what little I know, it's not sounding like this would be the year for it, because we just lowered the millage. And we just passed the budget, so. But I honestly, I just don't know enough. Like, my basic inclination is not now, but I just don't know enough.
I also would say that I have to research it further
Okay,
to
that's
see the
that's good.
details. I mean,
Perfect.
this is a totally new subject and
I agree. So yeah,
requires a lot of looking into. I'm sure the county also, if it goes through, they're going to have a lot of issues to overcome.
okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Stuyvesant. Next item.
Next item is 3B, a discussion regarding waiving of permit fees related to building recertifications.
In line with the same conversation, right now, and I'm gonna put as an example, if one of the big buildings needs to paint the building, even the same exact color, and the job is $1 million for painting the same color, if I'm not mistaken, it is between 2% and 2.75% of the cost of the job, what they have to pay in a building fee, which for $1 million project, it will be $20,000. So in line to the situation that is happening right now with the condo recertifications, the new legislations, et cetera, and considering that our building department has a big surplus of money in the building fund, I was bringing for your consideration that we can waive a part of the fees when the job is going to be for recertifications for the 25, the 40, the 50, the 60, and so on, and to put a cap of how much money per unit. So if it's a building of, let's say, 100 units that we have here in the ordinance or resolution, whatever, probably it's going to be an ordinance for this, no more than, let's say, $500 per unit for recertification. In the line with this previous item, the idea is for you guys to find more information, maybe for the city manager's office to prepare us more information so we can consider giving a little bit of a break to our residents, especially the ones on the west side, that all those buildings are aging right now, and they have multiple special assessments that they are connected to those recertifications.
Okay. Commissioner Joseph, your thoughts?
I'm thinking that this should be worth consideration. I know we have other issues regarding when someone is looking to replace a few tiles on a roof, they need to have a permit, where possibly we could have something such as if a certain percentage only needs replacement, that they should be able to bypass a permit. So in that regard, there are certain issues regarding permitting that I think could be looked into to make the system more fair and equitable, and also retain the fact that we need to make sure that standards are being held to, and safety adherence to our building code, but to make it more well, less expensive for residents. To give some type of a break, if we can.
Okay. Commissioner Viscar?
Similar issue, right? We just lowered the millage, and now we're talking about reducing fees. So I don't even know money-wise what it means, a cap of 500. I don't know what a unit might pay. Are they paying 5,000 and we're lowering it? I don't know what that means. I don't have the information. But I do think before we give direction on something like this, I would favor maybe like a workshop where we can ask these questions and really understand what the numbers are before, I couldn't possibly give direction to cap it at any number, a 500 or 1,000, or I don't know, because I have no idea what's coming in per unit. But I would favor a real conversation with numbers and our building department, and so we can see what's going on and see if it's a feasible idea.
Mr. City Manager, when's the last time that we, I think I remember, changed the permitting fees? I think that was about 5 years ago, or 18? It was 2018? Right. And
Yes.
that was, if I remember correctly, it was for the individuals, so that they would be incentivized to go ahead and get a permit rather than doing the illegal work, correct?
Yes.
That's what it
correct.
was?
Yes.
But the recertification requirements have changed
No,
since,
I
too.
know that. I'm just, for the purposes of the history, so that people understand the last time we did that. And so for me, I do know that we have somewhat of a surplus in the building department, but I have very similar questions to Commissioner Viscar. How would this even work? And then how would we treat the single-family homes? Because they also are getting permits for aging. Would they also be getting free permits? Or is it only for condos?
No, it was waiving a part of it, not to give free permits, just waiving a
Right, so
part of
then
it, yeah.
so this is very complicated. It's very challenging to know exactly how this would work, and certainly this would be a very big impact to our budget, if I'm correct, Stan?
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know the scope of it,
So-
and I don't know that we could relegate it to just the west side.
Oh, no,
I'd
no,
have
no,
to.
I don't mean only
did-
the west side, no,
Okay, so
anybody,
condos,
yes, clearly,
okay.
yeah.
So I'd have to research that
Okay.
about the potential impact, but I need some sort of parameters in
Right,
order to
exactly.
do that.
So that's why I think the idea of a workshop would be excellent.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you have consensus that we can set up a workshop where we can have a discussion about, with the various questions that the commission has.
Okay, yes,
Okay.
we'll do it.
All right, thank you. Next item?
Next item is 3C, discussion regarding memorial event on October 7th.
It's your item?
Yeah, for this item, I received a memo about it. I don't know if anybody cares to explain a little bit?
I can.
Okay, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since Commissioner Stuyvesant brought this to me a couple of weeks ago, and we had scheduled a workshop, I began at that time working on having an event that would be very respectful, solemn, and having discussions with the rabbis about how we could put together something, because it's such a significant day, being October 7th. So the different discussions that I had with them was, if we were to have some type of event, would they be able to commit to it, or what would the interest be, knowing that they have some type of memorial or special event on October 7th, either to attend or at their own places of worship. So in the end of the day, we were able to make contact with a local artist who is a Jewish artist who put together what we feel is a very, I think, reverent and respectful remembrance of everything that happened on October 7th. So we met with her. She's visited us a couple of times, where we're able essentially to do an art installation here at the city, and it would begin with a special first look on October 6th with our rabbis and elected officials, and then for at least 2 weeks we would have the event that is open to the public, where it would be in our first floor meeting room and also in this area just outside City Hall. So part of my, I guess, objective was I also worked with the police chief to ensure, because of the significance of the event, safety in going forward. So we sent you all an email that gives an outline of the event, but we have that scheduled as a way for the city. In addition to some other things, we're going to be lighting up the city in blue, and we've also ordered some, I guess, lights to be displayed throughout City Hall. But we really feel like, all things considered, this would be the proper event to commemorate everything that happened on October 7th, and would involve you and our local rabbis, and then members of the public that want to visit.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, I'm completely in favor of this event, okay? However, I have a lot of questions about process. So this event is already set up, it's approved.
We have met with the artist, and we have established a contract with her, yes.
Okay. So how is this different than what we were trying to do with the chess? So I have a few questions here. So who approved this event? Why it didn't come to us? Why we don't have to have a discussion item about this? Why we don't need a workshop about this? So now, apparently, it's being pick and choose who can use our parks and our city building for 2 weeks. And I'm gonna read here something from the memo, dice, and it says, with the only cost to the city being the supplies, so there is cost, and set up and breakdown cost, which is people, which is our employees. Also, these minor expenses are covered through the R fund account, which I'm not sure about how is that process, to be honest, because for the years that I've been attending the commission meetings, as far as I know, I might be wrong with this, but the art fund account, it has to, anything that is going to be used from that money has to come to the commission for approval. If I'm not wrong about that, okay? So for me, really, this is infuriating. That we are, that the staff, that you guys, and again, I totally support this event. I think it's gonna be wonderful. I never met with the artist. I would love for her to have come here and give us a presentation and show us in the TVs what is it that she envisioned to do for us. But apparently, we are not supposed to be part of that conversation. And the last time that I believe we as elected officials, we are here to set the policies, and the staff implement those policies. Here, we have no set of what is going to be used and how much money is going to be used for a 2-week event. And we just said to our residents right now that they cannot use our park that they pay for 5 days. So I need a little bit of clarification of the process.
So, so that I understand your question, and so that we have on the record the background on this, we did give direction for the city manager to plan an event. Correct? Am I wrong? One second, because I just want to, so that people understand, setting policy. You're absolutely right. That is what we do.
Okay.
But we don't get involved in the day-to-day. That is absolutely not what we're supposed to be doing. That's why we have staff to do that. So, Mr. City Manager, can you just clarify for the commissioner?
Yes, when the commissioner first brought it to me, I immediately began working on it. I then spoke with each one of you individually about having some sort of memorial event. So I did have consensus moving forward on that, and that's how we put the event together.
Okay, so I'm now even more confused, because we have here in agenda item 3C, discussion about memorial event on October 7th. So if we already gave we told the staff and the city manager what to do, if we already give direction, so why is it in the agenda today?
Let me respond to that, if I may.
Please.
Remember that we had a workshop scheduled.
Yes.
That was supposed to be the opportunity for this.
Correct.
But we couldn't have it, right?
Correct.
And there is a time crunch. Like if we don't, so we spoke individually to staff. They shared the idea. I liked it, but we couldn't do this because there wasn't the time. We didn't reschedule the workshop. Everything got pushed to this. I mean, this is not news to me. And I think it's fantastic because we talked about not competing. Of course, everybody wants to do something October 7th, but you don't want to compete with bigger events. Our rabbis are going to have probably, conflicting schedules. But at the same time, there's people that maybe don't want to go to Miami Beach or to some of these bigger events, right? So I felt like this was a great response to that. You don't compete with an October 7th event. We do on October 6th. Our rabbis can be present. Our residents who may have transportation on other issues or competing events, they can be present. And it allows us to have the Day of Remembrance, which was your item. And this is, I think, driven in part because of the time crunch, right?
If I may.
I don't have any issue with this at all.
Yeah.
No, I don't have an issue.
Or
I
how
think
it was
it's-
done, or the process. I don't have any issue
No,
with
I
it.
think it's fantastic. I just find out about this idea yesterday from this memo. So maybe you knew about it before Nami. I just, yes.
Well, no, we got the email before yesterday.
Well, like I said,
And
I
the
got it September 18.
and then so and to Commissioner Viscar's point, we had a workshop set up
Correct.
And I think I'm the only one that showed up.
That was last week, the
So,
workshop,
and-
last
and-
Thursday, yeah.
And so October 7th is around the corner. So I don't have an issue with the way that this was done because I was approached and asked my opinion, and Commissioner Viscar doesn't have an issue. But you're saying you did not have any discussion with the manager about this?
About this event, the way I just saw it the first time when I got this email yesterday, September 18th.
I only
at
received
9
an
a.m.
email also.
I never heard about it. We've been talking about October 7th, a commemoration. And like I said, I think it's a fantastic idea, and I'm fully in support of this event, 100%. What I'm not satisfied, like I said, with the process, because I don't think we are being fair with our people. I don't think we're setting, I don't think we're doing the same thing, the same process for two things. So in the case, like I said, comparing to the chess, we just tell them that they cannot use, when they come here, they pay like a lobbyist, I believe, right, Mauricio? Did they have to pay?
They're required to register as a lobbyist, but since they are a 501c3, they're not, the fees are waived.
Okay. But they were technically required. The artist was required to pay as a lobbyist?
Commissioner
lobbyist?
Commissioner Stuyvesant, we did not give the city manager direction to set up a chess or checkers competition.
I understand.
So you're comparing apples and oranges. But I hear your frustration, and it's noted. Mr. City Manager, do you have anything else to add?
I don't. I think that, especially with the memorial part of October 7th, it's really significant that when the commissioner first brought this to me, we immediately started working on it to see what our options were. And being that we didn't have the ability to have a large-scale event, because some of the things that Commissioner Viscara mentioned, and also my discussions with the chief from a security perspective, we then looked at what would be, I think, an event that would support all of your mission and direction to me. So we had to immediately begin working on it.
Okay.
And that's what I did. And I think that this event I think you will be really proud of what we've put together.
All right, thank you.
And if I'm finished, I believe it's going to be amazing. I have no doubt. Like I said, I'm 100% in support of it. It's just sad to me that the use of our spaces is 100% out of our hands and fully in the hands of the city manager's office, etc. You guys approve the events and use our spaces without asking. And that, I'm not satisfied about it. Yeah.
It's at our direction, it's not without asking. I mean,
But-
they're putting something together at our direction, and there is a fund that can be accessed for that purpose, so the budget-wise, it's not really affected. We're not dipping into anything else. The art money, as far as I know, have not really been touched for a while. I think that I think this is gonna be wonderful.
I agree.
And the circumstances for putting it together, we couldn't follow the regular process because the way that it came about, and then we had the little hiccup and the scheduling. I think so it's different. Yes, it's treated differently because the circumstances were different, and the item is different. So I think this is going to be wonderful, and I was thinking you guys really hit it out of the park. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, great job. Please, go ahead.
Yes, so I would just like to also commend Stan for putting this together. I know it will be solemn, respectful, and it'll be amazing for our city. And like you said, we have larger events memorializing the day, well beyond what we could do. And it also allows us to, represent the city at those events.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Stan. And Susan, thank you. All right, next item is yours, Commissioner Joseph.
Yes, okay, so my monthly update on the speed bumps in Golden Shores. I know that, I saw that we have speed monitoring, is that it? Or tracking vehicles?
Yes, Mayor?
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
Yes, we did. We worked this past month we set up some speed tables,
Yes.
and we had one issue with one of them that was not working.
Right.
So, which you and I spoke about. We got that corrected. So we have all of the data minus that last one,
Okay.
which we should have by next week.
Right.
So once we have all of that data,
Mhm.
we plan on submitting to the county by the second week of October, requesting
Right. Now,
speed tables.
yes. So the purpose of the monitoring was for the number of vehicles or the speed?
The speed,
Speed only.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Joseph. And next item is yours as well?
Yes. Okay. So I would like to have maybe a workshop regarding improving the building department as to digitizing it, speeding up the permit process. I know for a large commercial building, it can take up to a year for permitting. For residential, it can take from 4 to 8 months. And what is it that we're doing to speed up that process and to digitize our building department?
Mr. City Manager, go ahead.
Thank you. Earlier this year, the commission had given us direction last year to go fully digital as of this year, 2024, which we've done. So we had a couple of minor issues, but in my discussions with the building department, we are essentially fully electronic now. So there are a few residents that come in that we will help because they're not used to the electronic permitting.
Okay.
And there are a few pending permits that were submitted prior to the electronic permitting.
Yes.
But in essence, right now, we are fully electronic. So in my discussions with them, the process is only as good as what is submitted through the process. So a lot of times, if there's incomplete or missing data, we cannot move the process forward. But we're happy to meet with anyone and try to get them a permit as expeditiously as possible.
Yeah, so I'm aware that in certain issues such as air conditioning and all, there are calculations that are required that sometimes they're not submitted correctly, and that can delay the process, and other elevation issues and all. But as far as what do you think, let's take, for example, a residential permitting from 4 to 8 months. What do you, and take into account maybe the 8-month process. What do you think that might be logically reduced to? If you can just, give us some type of, and this is for the residents, I'm asking these questions because people aren't aware.
What I'd like to do is go back and get some information to the average processing time and then share it with all of you. So you'd have something in email because
Perfect.
I don't know exactly what it would be.
Okay.
But I'd like to bring that back
Well,
to you.
rather than just giving us memos, could we make it that we do it in open forum so that the residents themselves know?
Yes, of course,
Thank you.
Yeah. certainly.
If I could, Mayor, also, there's new legislation that is effective January 1st, where Florida statute dictates the time periods when permits are to be issued. There are exceptions to that, obviously, as the city manager indicated, because there's oftentimes a back and forth, so there is accounting for that. But a lot of those times are statutorily mandated now, starting January 1st, and I can send you a copy of that legislation
I
if you
believe
like.
it's 2 months.
I'm sorry?
I think it's 2 months.
Depending on the type of
Right.
permit, and there's a lot of different,
That was
there's
the
a lot of
main,
back and forth
um,
times,
yeah.
yes.
Right.
But I can circulate that if you'd like.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
And we could share that as well on social media or whatever, if the residents have it, but yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think that's it. Thank you, and we'll hopefully see everyone at 6:30. Thank you for coming.